imagine that LinkedIn is I class it as an online business directory.
Okay.
That's how I class LinkedIn. So if you imagine you've got a personal profile, that's the first part of LinkedIn. The second part of LinkedIn is your activity. Because if you just jump straight into activity without all the elements on your profile like a jigsaw puzzle, you'll be missing opportunities.
Okay.
So when I look back at the last 7 years of doing LinkedIn training, I probably get 90% of my business via LinkedIn and BNI. They're the two strings that I prospect actively week in, week out.
Perfect.
And as Stephen will tell us about marketing, it's not a one-off thing you do. It's something that you have to do continually, and you have to test and measure it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you imagine that it's an online directory, it becomes easier to make approaches to people, because one of the things that most people are scared of is engaging with the online community. Oh, I've got a new connection, what do I do? And then they don't do anything, and then nothing happens. So absolutely, it is a marketing stroke prospecting tool to work alongside your other activities. So shall I jump in onto the profile and give you, I know we haven't got a lot of time together, but I'll give you as much value as I can in the time we've got. So
one of the questions that came up on Monday was just the difference, and we touched on it slightly, but the difference between having a business profile, a business page, and your personal profile. It'd be good just, I think, just to go into that a bit more detail as well, just for the benefit of those on the...
Absolutely. So 90% of your activity will come from you yourself on your personal page. But as we scroll down the profile, on the experience section here, you can add a company page. So this company page is like your website within LinkedIn. You can share information from your company page to get some brand recognition. But when you're connecting to people, it has to be here from your personal page. A business page cannot connect to another business page or a personal profile. So it has to be you as a person. At the end of the day, people connect to people. So it has to be used.
Sorry, how do you create a business? But I didn't realise you could do that. I'm working as me at the moment, but kind of posting stuff about my business, but I didn't realise you could actually have a business section. Is that?
Yep. So if you click on here on work along the top black bar, scroll down, create a company page.
Oh, okay. Simple.
Very simple. It'll take you a couple of minutes to do. So when you've clicked that and created your company page, this is just the way you have to do it. Come back to your personal profile, scroll down to here, and then click on the pencil. Everything you change on LinkedIn is on the pencil. Retype your company name in here and it will automatically do the drop down. It will recognize the logo and then click save. Because if you try and add it from here, you can't. You can't add it directly from here. You have to go and set it up first and just fill it in like you would your own website, so that your website outside of LinkedIn looks very much like your company page.
Okay, cool.
And am I right, Dawn, in thinking that if you publish things on your company page, you can share it on your personal, but you can't the other way around? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So again, I suggest most of the things that you share is from you, but you can share the same material from your company page and the logo will hit the feed. So when we look at the profile, how I explain it is, because some people think this is a recruitment tool. It is. It started life out as a recruitment tool, but it's morphed into so much more than that. So I always say to people, imagine nobody knows you. The first time they look at your profile, what do they want to see? And my suggestion is this profile here at the top is not all about you. Because when someone looks at your profile, their first thought is, what's in it for me? So there's a couple of really important points here. The most important part of your whole profile is this, your headline. And the reason that's important, 2 points for that, is it's searched first for keywords. So if you have something just like the word director in your headline, you will never be found for the search terms that you want to be found for. 120 characters, including spaces. That's all you've got to get my attention. It's a bit like SEO in your website. If you don't get my attention here, I won't carry on reading. So obviously my keywords are LinkedIn training. I've got LinkedIn workshops and LinkedIn coaching. It doesn't matter which order these words are in, as long as they're here. If you want to use an icon, personally, I'm not a fan of hearts and crowns, and this is a professional B2B, so it's not Facebook, it's a B2B environment. If you want to use the arrow, just find me and copy and paste the arrow, but you have to have a gap between the word and the arrow. If you don't, it won't be able to read the word. So my question is, what do you do? And so if I ask that question to Raj, he's a BNI member, he'll know the answer to that. So the question, Raj, is what do you do? Tell us what you do. So if you press the space bar down on your laptop, you can, there you go, you move. So give us an example. What do you do?
Yeah, so I help customers get known, liked, and trusted by using the power of print in their marketing mix.
Right, and so what I'm doing is I take you on a journey on this headline. That's what you do. What's the end result of working with you? So
my LinkedIn profile is slightly different because I've niched down to working with property investors. So what I've written on there is that, you know, I help property investors get more deals and investment.
Okay, that's the benefit of working with you. And what you'll need to do, I call it a value sandwich. So you've got your keywords here, which will be print, marketing material, brochures, whatever it is that you create for them. But you need to have your value sandwich in the middle. The really great thing about LinkedIn is you can change this headline as often as you want. So for example, Raj is niching in property developers. So he will definitely put here property developers. But if, for example, if Vicky's doing commercial cleaning, she might want to put here. And I'm guessing if you look at commercial cleaning, who are the people that give you business, Vicky? Is it likely to be managing agents? What's your ideal market? What's your target market?
Anybody with an office space, really. So it can be offices, pubs, clubs. I know not so much anymore. But yeah, anybody and everybody. But we are trying to kind of reach out more to decision makers on LinkedIn. So a lot of our business managers, people like that. Okay.
So if you're looking for business managers, they need to have that in their headline, because once you start prospecting with them, they need to see what's in it for them. So I've got here helping sales teams. I change that next time and I might put marketing director or managing director or business owner. But what I would say is you can't find anyone and everyone on LinkedIn. So you wouldn't put helping people, you need to put helping managing agents, helping commercial estate agents. Think about the people that will employ your services. Because Aman with mortgages couldn't put helping people. It's not going to relate to me. So you've got to think about who and how you help. So once you get attention here, the next bit is the about section.
Before you move to that, could I just ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm an artist, so at the moment it just says artist and what I do. I wouldn't know what to put there in terms of how I help other people, I guess.
So what would you be looking for on LinkedIn as an artist? Who are the types of
I create large metal sculpture installations, so it would be businesses who would like to commission a sculpture for an area of their offices, or a restaurant or a hotel, things like that.
Okay, so you start the process of whittling that down. Who are the people responsible that will want your items? So you're going to have to put the metal, so you're going to put artist, so it might be metal sculpture artist, space, creating memorable environments, creating amazing corporate spaces. Think about the benefits of somebody having an amazing sculpture. So it could be, so you could equally work alongside retail or retail fit out people, or interior designers, commercial interior designers, because every time they go in and do a space, you'll follow them in with the sculpture.
Yeah.
So think about it not from, so I'm sure Stephen covers this, the sales funnel. If you just focus on the customers at the bottom, you have to keep replacing them. Whereas if you use LinkedIn as a funnel to find those interior designers, to find those commercial fit out people, you will get repeat business and won't be focusing on the end user.
Right, yeah.
Would you agree with that, Steve?
Absolutely, yeah. It's keeping the funnel as wide as you can at the top and then narrowing it down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's, think of it again, as we said, a business directory. So you can't find individual people. So for example, Aman with mortgages, he won't be able to find homeowners on LinkedIn because the assumption is everybody owns a home. So when we look at your referral givers, Aman, think of that wide sales. Who would you be looking to connect to? What are the other professions you would like to connect to for reciprocal business? You're on mute, by the way. You're on mute.
See if I can unmute Aman.
Yeah, probably property investors and estate agents, accountants.
Yeah, so you're looking for probably professional services.
Yeah.
So you need to think about the value here. And what we do is we cross-sell in this bit. So you would say, thank you for this is, you can use mine as an example. So you get my attention here with who and how you help. And then we come down into the about section where you can go into more detail. So you would be saying, Aman, thank you for taking the time to view my profile. My goal is to help, and you might say, individuals find the home of their dreams. I'm on LinkedIn to reach out to other professional services to build strategic alliances. Property developers and accountants and what was the other one? Estate agents.
Yeah.
So make it clear on here why you're on LinkedIn, because if people can't see at a glance what you do, they haven't got time to work it out. So you can cross-sell the areas of your business here. And then at the end of this, you have a clear call to action. So if, for example, you have somebody in your network that's just connected and they're a commercial estate agent, what happens next? And this is where Stephen will help with your sales process. Because if you get a new connection and don't respond to them, guess what's going to happen?
They're just going to ignore.
Absolutely. Nothing's going to happen. So my call to action, because if somebody was to connect to me and say, Dawn, and somebody did this recently, I need some LinkedIn training, can you give me a proposal? My answer was no, because I need to speak to them. I don't know how many in the team. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know how active they are on using it. So my call to action, my next step in sales is a call. So I'm quite clear that I need to arrange calls with people. get to know them, and then I can put in a proposal. That's your fact find here. So be quite clear on what the next step is. If you do a complimentary, I never use the word free. I'm sure Stephen will agree. Free has no value.
Absolutely. Sometimes we use pro bono, but complimentary or something like that, you know. But,
yeah. It's a short 20 minutes of my life that I can get talking to somebody. My first thought is, how can I help them? Because there might be people in my network that I can introduce them to. And that here I sit as a BNI member is that I'm always thinking of referrals for other people. Because I know if I give, it will come back around. Absolutely, it will. So just going back to the top, what you need here is a good professional photograph. Please don't have a logo. Don't need any strange Facebook photos, parties with wine. I did see somebody with a machine gun. I did have to politely say, I'm sure this is not the impression you want to make on LinkedIn. He thought it was funny. It wasn't. So good head and shoulders photograph. And then there's a background here. If you don't have a background, it will be just plain blue with a little constellation image. The best way to get a great LinkedIn background, and you can create your own, you can go into Canva. I don't know if anybody's heard of Canva, canva.com. Set up a free account, and there's a LinkedIn banner already on there. All you need to do is
a pointer. I use that, and it doesn't fit. I use that exact Canva LinkedIn background.
Did you use LinkedIn?
So yeah, I did.
Banner.
Yeah.
Okay.
LinkedIn banner, and it doesn't now fit. I don't know if they've changed something or why it doesn't fit, but it definitely doesn't fit.
So when you downloaded Canva, did you download it as a JPEG or a PDF?
I don't know.
Right, so if you did it, you need to have it as a JPEG. If you download it as a PDF, it won't fit.
I'm pretty sure it's a JPEG because it was because it's all photos. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because I did try.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you go back in, because it will be saved on there, try it as the PDF or the JPEG and just try it that way.
Okay.
But you want to keep it quite simple here. Let me know if it doesn't, and then I'll have a look.
Okay.
But it's quite strange because on some of your profile you need PDF files and some of them you need JPEGs.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. It would be great if it was the same, but it isn't. So what you need to have is a great background that is really quite clear on what you do without being too shouty. I've just used my logo's blue, so I've just used that there. I could add a logo if I wanted. If you don't want to create your own, you can just go onto free LinkedIn background images and download something that inspires you. So as we go down here, what we've got, I'll just do another kind of 5-10 minutes on the profile, if that's okay, and then I'll go back to some of the marketing things, because it all starts with this profile before you can market. As we go down into contact info here, this is a new section where you can send traffic from your profile directly to your website off LinkedIn. So I'll just go back and show you that bit. These are, once you get going, it's easy to see. So we click on contact info, click on the pencil. And what you need to do, if you haven't added your website details, just click add website. You copy the link to the page you want to go to on your website. The default setting just says company page. Really? Come down to other, and you can give me a call to action. Looking for a mortgage, wanting a cleaner. Are you a property developer? Are you an interior designer? So you can give people a call to action, 3 different calls to action to 3 different website pages. So as long as you've got the link of the website page, click the word other, give me a call to action, and click save. If it's just company website, no one's really interested. And you can add your phone number here. And what you do want to have though is your business email. You can't change it from here, but if anybody wants to know how to put their business email in, ask me at the end. If you are employed, what I would suggest is you have a personal email that sits behind this, because if you leave the business and you've only got this email and it's out of use, you won't be able to log back in. So last couple of things on the profile and we get to the exciting things. You have a personal dashboard. What you're looking for here is to be all-star. You are 11 times more visible if you fill in all the elements of your profile. And you can see your own, so you can see how many people have viewed your profile. I've appeared 156 times in searches over the last week, and one of my posts has had 35 views. So this is your own personal dashboard. The more active you are, the more visible you'll become. So I spend 10 minutes a day on LinkedIn. I have 1 hour a week set aside, but I have 10 minutes a day on being active, and that's how I keep the plate spinning. And people say to me, Dawn, you're on LinkedIn all the time. I'm not. I just have a little 10 minutes and I'll show you what I do with those 10 minutes. So as we come down to the experience bit, this is the bit that is about you. This is where you mention the word I. So we've said earlier on here, who and how you help. And then in the experience, you make this about you. Pull in the brands. If you've got 2 consecutive experiences, you can move them around. So sometimes I might have my BNI at the top, sometimes I'll have the LinkedIn. But what you want to do is build credibility. The whole point of this profile is to build your credibility. So go back as far back as you want. I've only ever had 3 jobs. I was a nursery nurse with 123-year-olds. That was entertaining. I've worked in a graphic design studio, and then I've been doing BNI and BizLinks. So go back as far as you want, but what you need to do is have a little description on everything that you do. Build that credibility. You do need to add a school for education purposes and whole profile. The school isn't relevant. It's a long time since I was at college and school. But in order for an all-star, just add your high school. This is more for the people that are just leaving college or school and are looking for a job, but it does need to be in there. Any certificates that will show you credibility. So I'm sure Aman has some. You can add your licenses and certificates there, all adding to your credibility. Last couple of things on the profile is skills and endorsements section. If you haven't got that, you'll find it here at the top. Add a profile section. So these skills and endorsements are keywords relating to your business. You can have 50. What I would say is 10 to 15 keywords are great for your visibility. And just to add a keyword, you'll just click add. And I can unpin, so the top 3 are visible. All the others are down here. So if I wanted to say I'm going to remove social media marketing down the bottom, and let's put in training and development. That will then move to the top. So you have your top 3 on display, but anybody can have a look down and see your keywords. But you're looking really for 99%. It's really easy to endorse somebody. I'll show you how to do that. You can just go onto their profile and click endorse. The thing is, you cannot endorse yourself. So 99 people have said I'm good at social media and business. So you can very easily endorse people. If you've got any words that you don't do, remove them. Don't confuse people. Okay, and then the last part are recommendations. For those of us that are BNI members, we know the value of a testimonial. So if you ever give anyone a testimonial in BNI, please come onto their profile and recommend the person. This is probably where I pick up a lot of conversations with people, because 239 people have said that I'm good at what I do. You know, that's my credibility in a nutshell there. But equally, I've given recommendations. That would look really weird if I'd got 100 recommendations and I hadn't given any. So there's some integrity here. So what I would suggest is, if you have to be first line connections, directly connected, you spend a little time recommending other people or asking for a recommendation. Really easy to do. But this adds massively to your credibility. If you ask for a recommendation, you'll have to approve it before it comes onto your profile. So please check for any typos, and please make sure that you're happy with what it says, and then it will attach itself here. And anybody can see, they come in date order, so people can go and look through all of them if they want to.
Dawn, can you, if there's any typing errors, can you change them yourself or not?
No, you'll just go back and say, can you change this please? Because you can't manufacture these. These are from other people. So when it comes in, read it, and then it'll say accept or respond.
Okay.
And if there's a typo, just go back and ask. There's a typo.
Sure.
So that is a really quick whistle-stop tour of the profile. One last little bit here. At the top, can you see here that it says edit public profile? If you click onto that, this will give you your unique link. And the unique link needs to be just your name or lowercase. A lot of people have a whole host of numbers at the end. And I've actually seen somebody give me a business card with all the numbers on the end of their LinkedIn profile. So click on the pencil and just put your name, all lowercase, no spaces. If your name's Rob Smith, there's 16,000 on LinkedIn, you'll have to add a number or a middle name, but it's just your unique link. So that's a tip there. As we go down on this section, make sure you are clicked public profile visibility. If that is turned off, your whole profile closes down. So sometimes you might notice that somebody's viewed your profile and they are anonymous, so you can't say who they are. So if you wanted to become anonymous and go and do some research on your competition or somebody else, you can close the profile down. But always remember to turn it back on. So what we want to do is make sure your profile is set to visible, public, and then make sure all the elements of your profile are ticked on. If there's one that's ticked off, it will disappear. And then at the end here, there's a public profile badge. So what you can do here is click create a badge, and it will give you a unique set of code for your profile. And what you can do with that is on your email footer outside of LinkedIn, you can just click here, put the LinkedIn logo, put the code behind it, click here to connect on LinkedIn, and it will save people having to search for you. So that's your profile in a nutshell. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Start at the top, work your way down, and once it's put together, you're then ready for part two. And part two is the exciting part. That's the prospecting and connecting. Before I go into this, does anyone have any questions on the profile? I know I've gone through at a pace, but hopefully you've picked up things that you didn't know. Everybody really okay to?
Stunned everyone into a silence, I think, but it's really, really good. You know, getting to wait.
Yeah, no, it's really good tips.
Yeah.
Great. Great. So let me move on. Yeah, question?
Oh, yes, sorry, quick question. You know, do you normally use LinkedIn on your PC or on your phone? Because are there more functions on the PC?
Absolutely. I use the phone when I'm out and about just to have a look at the home page. but I don't use it for anything else because you can't have any personal messages if you want to connect people.
Right. Okay.
So I'll share with you. So my last 2 points before we finish is the home page, which is where you can market and get visibility, and prospecting with messages and searches. So this is the home page, and this is where I spend 8 of my 10 minutes a day. And this is where you can engage with the online community. And it's really easy. You can start a post. So you might start a post on top tip on printing. It's very easy just to click start a post. Give me a headline. Everything on LinkedIn is about headlines. So you type out your headline. Here you can either add a video, add a document, it has to be a JPEG, or add an image. And then all we do then is add 3 hashtags. And hashtags are keywords about your business. So obviously my hashtag's always going to be LinkedIn, LinkedIn training, LinkedIn coaching. So always add 3 hashtags, and then you would just click post. So if we look down about what people are talking about, I'm just going to go down. Okay, let's like. If I like that, that's Naeem, he's a BNI member. That will come back to the top of the feed with me here. So liking other people's material is great. Commenting is great, and sharing is great. If I wanted to say, well done, Naeem, I would go, well done, and then put the @ symbol, and there he is. And that will put somebody in bold, and he will get a flag to say I've commented and post. So if you're not confident in sharing your own material, start with liking other people's first. What you can see here is people are posting things. Okay, this one hasn't got any images. I haven't stopped there. This one's got images, but if you look, this has been posted from the company page because it's got the logo. So posting from your company page is great, but most of the time we want to be from a personal level. That's like that one. So this is why people think I'm on LinkedIn all of the time. And just like it and comment and share. Obviously with people that I know, there's Mark. Let's like that one. He's attached a video. But if ever you're just attaching images, make sure you do attach an image and not just text. There's another one that's just text. But what I find on here is people are asking for help on here as well. Can anyone recommend her? If there's 70 comments, I leave it, but because I'm on every day, I can see, usually, I'm one of the first to comment on verse 1 to 5, I'll comment on it. So somebody the other day asked for, I think it was PPE, and somebody in BNI does that. So I just commented, highlighted them, and I texted him and said, I've just recommended you on LinkedIn to whatever his name was. They connected and they're talking. So if you do recommend someone, always let them know you've recommended them. And that is just a continual feed, day after day after day, hour after hour. So I just spend 10 minutes on there. I don't worry about what goes on when I'm not looking, but it's a great place to be with the online community. And if you are comfortable posting, share something once a day, different time of day, but just get some visibility. This is where you can promote yourself. It's allowed. So I would just say engage here on the online community. So easy to do, just click start a post, add an image, give me a good headline, 3 hashtags, and post out. Has anybody got any questions on marketing and sharing on the homepage?
So is it 3 hashtags maximum, Dawn?
No, you can have as many as you want, but I tend to find you stick to 3 keywords that you want to be searched for, because you can actually follow hashtags here.
Okay.
And other people are following hashtags. So stick to your 3 keywords and occasionally add another one in. But I've seen them sometimes where everybody's hashtagged about 20 and it just becomes a lot of noise. It's like, yeah, just get noticed for 3 hashtags regularly. And the one thing I never do on here is be negative. I don't think any social media or business platform is a place to be negative. I let other people do that. I don't engage in any negative comments. So if you don't want to engage on the online community, don't worry, because the next bit is the prospecting part. And the prospecting part for me is the best bit. So this is how we use the search feature. So the search feature, you can search for people by name. So I can type in Stephen Charman and he will come up. You can search for jobs, content, companies, schools and groups. So I'm going to do a search, prospecting search now. So back where we started the headline, who are the people that you don't know that you would like to find on LinkedIn? And let me tell you now, I can't find anyone or no one or somebody or anybody. So who are we looking to connect to on LinkedIn? The type, the category of people we need to find. So who would like me to do a search? Did we say
volunteers?
What was
Accountant.
Accountant. Yeah, shall we go for accountants? We want to look for accountants because clearly Aman in his profile is saying that he works particularly well with accountants. To what? What's in it for them? So if I do accountant, I type in the keyword. Now, if I just press accountant there, I will get tens of thousands of results. Everything I train on is on the free version of LinkedIn. The only downside to the free version of LinkedIn are your results you get from searches. So if I typed in accountant and got 100,000 accountants, it will wipe out my searches. So you've got to keep your searches quite tight. So let's have a look. And where are you based, Aman? You're in Solihull?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me type in, and I'm going to show you this as examples. I'm looking for an accountant in Solihull. So you can see I put accountant. I haven't put accountants with an S. They're not down as accountants. They're down as an accountant. So whatever you're searching for, interior designer, it wouldn't be interior designers. So let's have a look. Are there any accountants in Solihull? There are 1,988 accountants in Solihull. So that now you can start going through and connecting. Some won't be suitable. So there's an accountant at the council. I don't know if Gemma is going to be useful for you. Probably not. So we won't connect to that. Stan, I've already asked him. So the good news is you can't ask anybody twice. So don't worry if you think you've asked them to connect. You can't ask again. So I'm waiting for these 2 people to accept my connection. Okay, Archana from Salan. So all we do is we click connect, add a note. Hi, Archana. Are you open to connect on, I'll check my spelling, LinkedIn, please. Am I selling anything at this point?
No.
No, we never sell in BNI and we never sell on LinkedIn. Oh. So all I'm doing is I'm just growing my network with people that I don't know. I'll copy and paste that, ready for the next one. This is where LinkedIn. Okay, send invite. And then you work down the next one. What I would say is don't blast out 100 at one go, because you will miss the people coming back to you once they've accepted your connection. Just a steady 3 a day. So if you did 2 a day, that'd be 10 a week. That would be 40 accountants in your network. And when they accept your connection, you'll get a little flag saying, Archana has accepted your connection. And then with Stephen's help, you create what happens next, because you've got to engage with them. If you just accept them and then don't respond at all, nothing's going to happen. So I suggest you think about creating a couple of messages. Thanks for connecting on LinkedIn, Archana. I might have some useful connections for you. Would you be open for a 10-minute chat? Not selling anything, but what was my call to action on my profile? Complimentary 20 minutes. So I'm quite clear that I might be able to help them. I'm not going to go and say, oh, thanks for connecting, Archana. As you can see, I do LinkedIn training. Would you be open for a 10-minute chat? I'd like to put a proposal in. Yeah, it's just not going to work. So you've got to move them along the prospect journey without the sales. If I get a new connection and they send me a brochure or they send me a price list, whoa, that is out and out selling. I don't appreciate anybody sending me a price list without a conversation first. And I will always go back and say, thank you for that. Can I ask, does this approach work? Some people respond, some people don't. But what I would say is, don't be selling at this point. All you're doing is asking to connect politely. And then when they accept, you've got to decide what happens next. And it could be, a man might say, I'm looking to partner with a local accountant to build a strategic alliance. Are you open for a 10-minute conversation? Up to you what happens next. But I do know if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. So Vicky, what was the title you were looking for? What did we say for people that you wanted? Was it not commercial manager?
Business manager.
Business manager.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that is such a broad description. You will get tens of thousands of results. So we're going to have to bring that tighter. So let's go for, let me think. I'm going to type this in, and you have to play around with the searches. Commercial manager. Oh, doesn't matter about, because this is a double word, I now have to put it in speech marks. Because if you typed in commercial and manager separately, you will get tens of thousands of results, because it's looking for the word commercial and it's looking for the word manager. So I'm going to add an...
Sorry, just facilities, whether that would work better for Vicky, that was all.
Yeah, so let's try it. And you can play around with this.
Yeah.
So let's go for facilities manager, and we do have to put a location. Solihull isn't a particularly good search term. Birmingham is better.
Okay.
Can somebody check my spelling? Facilities manager. So I'm looking for it singular, in brackets, Birmingham. Let's have a look. We have 2,000 facilities managers in and around Birmingham. So we've got a school, we've got a university, but you will have put, Vicky, in your profile, I'm looking to connect to property people, including facilities managers. Yeah. You know, you need to relate it back to the search that you're doing. So Stephen, you could have managing director, Birmingham, and you'll clearly be saying you work with managing directors that want to X, Y, Z.
Absolutely, yeah.
There will be lots, there'll be probably tens of thousands of managing directors, which is fine, you've got a prospect list, but you just start working through it in exactly the same way. Just click connect. Now, occasionally, you will come to a third line where it won't allow you to connect. So I'm still walking down, it probably won't do it for me at the moment, but if you go to connect here, so Vinci Services, they're a really big facilities manager. There's the one. So I can click connect. If you've got a lock here, it will say you need to upgrade. Don't do that. This is what you do. You go onto their profile and I can click connect. That won't be there if it's a third line. You've got this little more. Go on.
Dawn, what does second and third mean?
So if we're directly connected, Aman, we're first line.
Yeah.
Who I know is your second line, and who they know is your third line. So it's like a dartboard. You're in the middle. You've got your first line around you. Who they know is here, and who they know is third. You can only go 3 away. So I love this little button here. So if it won't let you connect to Des, you'll have a lock. You'll be able to click the more button and there'll be a connect button there. So don't upgrade. If you want to connect to a third line, you can do it this way. But this is an interesting button here. More. You can share profile. So say, for example, I've come across Des as a connection and I think he'll be useful for Vicky. I can share his profile. I'll just give that as I'm not connected to Vicky. Am I connected to you, Aman?
Yes, you are, Dawn.
Yeah, so there you are. I can connect to you, and there is that little connection there. And I might say, Aman, I came across Des. I think is a useful connection, might be worth connecting, and send that. I won't send that because it's not right, not what you want to be doing. But you can see here on the search is where you've got to relate it to the people you want to get to know. So was it Rachel who's the artist?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so we can have, so you might have here interior. Let's do one more. Let's go for.
Dawn, is there a maximum number of connections you can have, or?
No, I'm on about 7,500, but it will only allow you 150 maximum a day. You don't need to be doing anything like that number because you've got to manage when they accept. So I always say it's just a steady approach along the way. So let's have a look for how many interior designers are there in Birmingham? 2,347. So that becomes Rachel's prospecting list. And you just start going through and connecting.
What would I say to them when they do connect? Because it's a very salesy thing, isn't it, really? Do you want to buy a sculpture? But I'm not sure what you'd say that.
So Stephen will probably help with those, but you create a set of messages. So you'd be saying, hi, Robin. So you just click connect. When he accepts, hi, Robin, I would like to find out more about your business. We might be able to work together.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
No way is that selling.
Yeah, as an example at Action Coach, we have 13 steps in the sales process before we actually ask for the sale. Yeah. You know, they're just little touch points. It might be a connection on LinkedIn, it might be sending a postcard, it might be having a phone call, all those little touch points before you actually do the ask at the end. You might sort of build up to it, but it's about having a process. And if you haven't got one, it's something I would suggest you sit down and think about, you know, what is the sales process, what, you know, you're going to follow in your organization, in your business to generate those leads and to, once you've got the leads, so to generate those sales and those clients.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I
just
don't have
having
one.
Yeah, and you should, because just connecting is not enough. And they'll be so, oh, it's not working for me. Well, what do you do? What's your prospecting? What's your sales process? And like you, it's not unusual, Rachel, people don't know. In which case, they think it's selling. And we're not selling here, we're just bringing people into your network. But if you did two interior designers a day, that's 40 interior designers. I guarantee some of those will talk to you. I guarantee you'll be able to build some rapport, relationship, ultimately new business. But if you go in and
just
say,
working out what to say to them. Yeah.
Thanks for connecting. I do, you know, great metal sculptures. Do you want one? I'd say probably that won't work. But but if you've got those keywords in your profile, if you're always talking about metal sculptures, you can do lots of marketing around that, visibility on the homepage, then you'll start to get visible. But marketing isn't for everyone. So if you don't want to do the marketing bit, but just want to go for the connections and conversations, that's absolutely fine too. But what I would say, going back to your profile, is there's an element here where you can add images. So if you've got some videos, you've got some testimonials, or you've got some examples of your work.
Yeah, I've put some up there in the featured. Yeah. Definitely have some of those. Right. Yeah.
So what I would be doing is some of your visuals, but then also a small document on what they add to a workplace.
Mm.
You know, tell me what the benefits of having them are, not just the fact that you do them. You've got to make it about the viewer.
I was going to do a blog about that, about how art can lift the aesthetics of a place, etc. So I'm working on it.
Right, and I guess if you're going to improve the aesthetics, what does that mean to the workforce?
Mm.
Keep going down that line till you get the essence of having a sculpture in a workplace. It's not just to look good. It's got to be about health and well-being along the line, I'm guessing, which ultimately will be productivity.
You know that features part, is that where you can put, so it's not just pictures, you can actually put like a little blog or an article, stuff like that?
Yeah, not from here. So the little plus is to add a video or a document. If you want to write a blog, which is brilliant, come here to the home page and write an article. That attaches itself directly to your profile like a serious document. This shows your expertise. So the little post comes up on the ladder, disappears, whereas the article sits on your profile.
Is it better to write an article like that and just say I'm doing a blog for my website and I've popped that on my website, rather than putting a link to the blog? It's better to just write it as an article separately. So even though you're copying the blog, it's better to put it in as an article.
Absolutely, because this is one audience, whereas your website and blog is another audience. So you can duplicate the same information, but you've got more people on LinkedIn or on the web. So you just keep widening your net with your material, but not, you know, creating new things. You can just copy and paste it. The great thing about articles is, and I have picked up business from articles, is that you show your expertise. I'll just show you what it looks like.
It doesn't penalise you. It doesn't penalise you for duplicating information like Google would, kind of thing.
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So you give it an image. Again, we're back to that headline. What are the keywords you're always known for? You start writing. You can add a video or add an image. And I love that little chain. You can hyperlink. So I hyperlink to my book. At the end of all my marketing, I put, if you'd like to find out more, you can purchase here from Amazon. Highlight the word Amazon and my book link is hyperlinked there. And I make it easy for people to buy, but I don't lead with the book sale. Are you looking to improve your headline? Here's my book. Are you, I'll give you some tips and hints, and you can buy it at the end if they want to or not. But you know, these articles are not self-promotion. They are more about showing your expertise.
Yeah, that's great. Need to start
Wowzers, that's been an hour together. Hasn't that gone fast?
It has. Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing, Dawn. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm conscious of the time, Dawn's time in particular. But do anybody got any other questions before we sort of wrap up? Or you want to share any sort of BFO in Action Coach BFOs, blinding flash of the obvious, any sort of key action that you're going to take away today and put into place on your LinkedIn profile, or any sort of anything else you want to share, really, that's sort of a light bulb moment for you that you want to share?
There was just one question with the URL bit. I've put mine as my business name, not my name. Is it better to have it as your name?
Yeah, because people will be searching for you more than the business.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I always make it personal about the person, but the logo and the business is secondary. I need to relate to you as a person, so I always say put your personal details there.
Right, okay.
So yeah, I'm interested if anybody's learned something they think I didn't know that. The BFO, I like that, Stephen.
I think for me, it's definitely the value sandwich you spoke of. So apologies, I can't share my video for some reason. I'm having some technical issues on my laptop, but yeah, definitely that around being specific in there as well, because I've realized on mine I've said helping individuals, and I'm like, oh, light bulb moment now. So I need to go back and edit that for sure.
Yeah, And where, Simon, where you'll get the most value in working, is it the busy business owners? You know, who is it that you can really add value to? Because you can as also connect to other health and wellbeing people as well.
Yeah.
So you've got a double whammy here, those people and also the referral givers. And I don't think there's very few people I've asked to, are you open for a 10-minute chat for some strategic alliances? Most people are, oh, interesting. You'll get better responses in engagement with that. Raj, what have you taken from tonight?
Yeah, I think it's been very good. Thanks, Dawn.
Pleasure.
What I'm going to take away from this is expand on the experience bit. At the moment, I've got very few one-liners, you know, saying basically roles like chartered accountant to marketing director. So I need to expand on that. And I had a quick question, Dawn. You know, people talk about paid versions of LinkedIn, etc. I guess that's a cause for a different day, but is there any value in them?
If you click try premium for free, you have to put your credit card details in. But the only benefit, I believe, in all the years I've been doing it is the searches. But if you know who and how to connect, you don't need to pay you don't need to pay £1,000 a year just to be able to have unlimited searches, as long as you know how to search. So mainly it's recruiters. It's usually one sales director and recruiters that use premium. It's worth giving it a go for 4 weeks, as long as you remember to cancel it. But yeah, I personally think you can do everything you need to do on the free version.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Vicky, what did you take?
So for me, it was narrowing down a little bit in the first little bit where you've got your little way name and what you do. So I didn't realise obviously about saying what I do, but then narrowing down the people, but also the end goal and what people would get from working with us. That was something that I kind of left for the sales pitch, if you like. So that's quite a clever way actually of kind of getting people thinking.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Aman, who said he doesn't know anything about LinkedIn, but he knows a whole lot more than most people know.
Now, although I've got an all-star profile, I think I still need to make some tweaks to some of the keywords and just go through my profile again. And what do you think?
Yeah, nice picture, nice and colourful. You do need your background. And then what you need to, and if people ask, I'm always quite honest, but, you know, looking to create, okay, you've got that. Yeah, I'd say this is very detailed, strip some of that out a little bit on the about section, and then we don't have a call to action here.
Okay.
What happens, just as a quick one, and then you'll need to create your company page and then just come back in, which was on work. Company page, come back in, retype it, and it'll put the brands in.
Can you put your logo on the company page? Because I've realised I do have it, and I can't seem to put my logo. I can't work out how to put my logo in.
Okay, so if you'll just go into work, and then, sorry, if you come down to your, go onto your company page from your profile, just come down here, and then you need to edit from here. And then you can add the logo and then just come back and repeat that. So you can just go in and do the admin part of it. Okay. The admin. And then you can manage it and edit it and then come back. That's my company page is exactly the same as my personal profile. But
I don't think I've got it set up right because it doesn't go to that. So I need to work out how to get onto that.
Yeah, and if not, just start a new one. And then you can pull it in that way. But you just start a post from here as you would your normal on the home page. And what's another great thing is to follow company pages that you're interested in working with. So if Vicky's looking for facilities managers, when she connects to one, follow their company page, because all of that, the companies you follow will come into your feed so you can see what they're talking about. Company pages is a whole new discussion. I love it, but it's giving you a flavour for it.
Yes, yeah. Anybody else? Any BFOs? Certainly for me, it's about, I think one of the things I struggle to do and don't always do as much as I should is actually going out asking for the testimonials and the referrals, and to the feedback. I think, and that's part of being British, and we're sort of reluctant to go forward and ask, but I think, we do need to make the ask and help build our credibility online as well as in person. So I should certainly take that away today, Dawn. Thank you. Any other questions or comments or feedback before we wrap this up?
I was also just going to say that call to action, putting that in the about section and having that on your posts. That's an interesting one, and having that at the end and leading with the person and what they're about before going on about yourself. Very valuable.
Absolutely. That's really, in a nutshell, your profile. And when you get that right, the good things happen. If it's all about, here I am, this is what I do, how wonderful I am, people don't, not that I'm saying you do that, Simon, definitely not, but people that do that, they're like, I'm a bit like, oh, and most people are a bit like, ooh.
But I think it's interesting on the back of Vicky's point, from especially with myself coming from a place of being a corporate staff member and using LinkedIn as a profile for recruiters, to switch it over to being a business owner now, and what we're offering and doing, it is a bit of a transition and changing our tone and the wording of how we're positioning ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. It's really different.
And that's kind of insider knowledge.
Yeah.
But what you'll do is you'll be able to recognise a good profile now. And the people that are active on LinkedIn more, you'll recognise somebody with a good headline. A lot of people that have done my training use this arrow. So you probably know, you might know Dawn. But yeah, people with a good headline.
Yeah, I actually liked your arrows when I went on your profile. I actually went out my way to find on Google, there's a page where you can get different symbols that you might want to use.
Yes, there are. And some people have got them plastered everywhere, but it just, for me, looks a bit gimmicky.
Absolutely, it needs to be clean and professional.
Yeah, I don't like all those emoji things.
When you were saying that, I was noticing on your profile that Joanne Turner, it works for her.
Yes, she's a jeweler, so she's allowed to have a jewel, I suppose. But yeah, please make sure if you do use the icon, just to have that gap. Otherwise, it won't recognise the word.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Because sometimes when you try to save the spaces and characters, you'd probably get rid of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But that's a good tip as well.
Yeah, some people have like / finance / and then it's just one giant word and they'll be invisible.
Very useful.
Good point.
Is there a way of adding an affiliation type thing? So I have some of my work up in an art gallery in town. Can you add a link to them? Does that help your profile if you link to them, or?
No, you can do it here. If you want to show samples of your work, you can add a link to their website here.
Right, okay, yeah. So put their website in there, right? Yeah, okay.
And then they can go. So take a look at samples, and then that will take them to that. Yeah.
I think the other top tip you've shared, Dawn, is for all of us. And I often talk about default diaries and planning your weeks and planning your days. But 10 minutes every day on LinkedIn is a great way and a great tip just to end with, really, in terms of keeping on top of this. 10 minutes in the evening when you're sitting watching TV, whatever your tipple is on TV, or first thing in the morning while you're waking up. Just 10 minutes a day on your phone, on your iPad, on your laptop is a great way just to try and get on top of LinkedIn and build your profile and build your reputation. So a great top tip there from you, Dawn. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone else for joining us. Thank you, Dawn, most of all for your time today, this evening. Really, really appreciate it. Dawn, I don't know if you want to share your details in case anybody wants to sort of have that conversation further with you. I think it's on your profile somewhere there, isn't it? But,
well, if people want to connect to me, I'll always happily give some feedback on profiles if you've adapted them, or happily give you your business better than me, so I can be on the outside looking in. So I'm always happy to give feedback on profiles if people have put it together. Just connect to me, and that'd be great.
Yeah, we can always take it from an 8 to a 9 or a 9 to a 10. Absolutely. Small little increments. Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you, everyone. I'll let you go and get your supper. and look forward to catching up with you again next week. And we'll see you all soon. All right, stay safe and stay well.
Thank you.
Dawn.
Thank you. Nice to meet
care.
you.
Thanks, Dawn.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Stephen.
Bye.
Thank you. I'll give you a recommendation on LinkedIn, Dawn.
I'll do the same.
Thanks,
Thank
Mo.
you.
Sorry I was so in and out.
That's all right.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.